Spot a long face, Horace.
I'm just having a little girl trouble.
Big pressing charges. I get that a lot.
Holden McNeil was set in his ways. The way he worked. The way he lived. And the way he thought love should be. But then, she showed up. Miramax Films presents a comedy that tells it like it feels.
She's been around and seen things we've only read about in books.
What'd you do last night?
Got lucky.
Chasing Amy.
And now, at last, we come to what at least I think is the only good movie on this week's show. It's called Chasing Amy, and it was written and directed by Kevin Smith, who made a name for himself a few years ago with a very low-budget comedy named Clerks. Now he's back with Chasing Amy, which is a terrific film, well-written, well-acted, about a love affair that forces a comic book artist to question all of his ideas about himself.
Chasing Amy. Wait, stand by. All right.
C2, take one. Parker.
Do you understand why I love this movie so much?
No.
Give us a quick, thumbnail sketch of the plot.
It's about a guy who falls in love with a lesbian.
I love you.
Finds out she's had heterosexual relationships and can't deal with that.
I want us to be something that we can't be.
And what's that?
A normal couple.
In the late 90s, it was still an occasion to have a really big queer film come out, and this was big. Ultimately, it made $12 million in the box office.
There was Hollywood, and then there's independent film. And when an independent film broke through, everybody noticed.
It's extremely personalized, extremely good. I've never really seen a romantic comedy like it, ever in my life.
It's a well-crafted film that came out in that great 90s era of indie filmmaking.
Kevin Smith definitely was one of the young kings of independent film.
Chasing Amy is obviously a personal film for Smith, a chance to work through his masculinity issues on screen.
I do know that he's talked about it being based on a relationship that he had at one time.
You got this Golden Globe nomination. Are you excited?
I am. I'm very excited.
If I wrote about real life, Chasing Amy would be all about the fact that I couldn't stand that my girlfriend at the time went to Bali when she was younger and I didn't.
I think he was being true to himself and being as true as he could to the subject matter.
It directly addressed issues of intersectionality, socio-political issues, and really looked at identity politics in a way that most films hadn't.
It's also acceptable to be a gay girl nowadays. People think it's cute.
Do you find the film to be authentic to the LGBTQ community?
No, I find it to be authentic to the straight white dude who happens to fall for a queer woman community.
This is a movie about a woman who is a lesbian and decides to be with a man. I'm like, that's gonna be controversial.
There are some people that inevitably are going to see a lesbian no longer being a lesbian by meeting the right man and rejecting that entirely.
Set aside the notion that any lesbian can be magically turned straight if the right guy comes along. What's extra offensive in hindsight is the idea that that guy would be Ben Affleck.
When I first saw the movie, I thought it was kind of dumb but harmless.
That would have been excellent for the poster tagline. Dumb but harmless.
There were some people in the community who did not appreciate the ambiguity, the subtlety. There were a lot of question marks in that film.
I mean, it's not rocket science. A straight man tells a lesbian story, and now everyone's paying attention.
I hear the word problematic with Chasing Amy a lot. Is it bad that it's problematic? Is it okay that it's kind of divisive?
Did you see that? Your dyke courting ass just got me scored on.
Sometimes something that's problematic can still mean a lot in your development.
It was, I think, a brave film at the time to portray somebody who's fluid.
I know that there's a lot of controversy about these older gay films, but at the same time, it meant something to you as a filmmaker, and that is an undeniable thing.
I do have more respect for this film than I thought I did, less because of how it's put together and more for what it was able to do for people like you.
I do have a question. Why do you want to make this movie?
When I was 12, I exclusively wanted to watch Ben Affleck movies. It's an incredibly specific thing for a child to demand. But Ben Affleck was the star of the 2003 superhero film Daredevil. Naturally, I was in love with him. One day, while raiding my family's movie collection, I came across an unfamiliar box with Mr. Affleck's face on it. The title read, Chasing Amy. Chasing Amy had everything that I wanted. The characters were comic book writers, they spoke in romantic monologues about the kind of love that only seemed to exist in movies, and there were openly queer people. And I didn't realize what a big deal that would be for me. Around this time, I entered junior high school. Young me did not have it particularly easy. While I was lucky to have a few people that I could call friends, I often felt isolated, but wasn't really sure why. In one violent incident in the 7th grade, a group of boys surrounded me as I waited for my mom to pick me up after school. I regarded these kids as my friends, so imagine my shock when they started pushing me, threatening me, and hurling words like dyke, queer, and faggot at me. I had never heard the word dyke before in my life. This wasn't the last time I'd encounter homophobia as an adolescent, but it was the first time I realized just how I was being othered. See, it sucks when everyone else knows you're queer before you do, because then you don't have anything to protect yourself with. These young men weaponized my perceived sexuality against me. Back then, there were virtually no consequences for homophobic bullying in Kansas. But I did have this one movie. I had a movie where the gay and lesbian characters were good. They were intelligent and funny and out. They were able to live as their authentic selves. And you know what? The spirit of Chasing Amy kept me alive for years to come, despite the suicidal thoughts that began to permeate from the trauma I was continuously experiencing at school. No matter what I was dealing with, I had this one movie to bring me solace. I once kept this movie in my DVD player for a month. I would watch it at least once a day, every day, for 30 days. Now, to be fair, I didn't know that there were other gay movies. Nowadays, I'm a filmmaker. And because I can't seem to shake this topic, I'm now directing a project about the legacy of Chasing Amy as an LGBTQ film. It's by far the most dramatic way of saying thank you I could possibly think of. Thank you. The whole store looks the same. It feels like I'm stepping into a time capsule in the best way.
Yeah, you know, all the racks are the same. I don't think the t-shirts or the books were over there.
No.
And over here was Singles, which kind of dates it pretty badly. But
the exterior, the carpet,
oh yeah,
it really feels like I watched the movie and then just walked over here.
Maybe what's really troubling you is that your fragile fantasy might not be true.
You remember that never will forget this, never. I want to get the rights to that song and just do a montage over this whole day.
Never will forget this. I never will forget this. Never will forget this. I never will forget this. Never will forget this. I never will forget this. Never will forget this. I never will forget this.
Wow. I'm a little nervous. I didn't know what I expected. I did not expect all this. This is cool.
Ta-da-da!
Oh my God.
That's the original piece right up there.
Did they ever make a full Chasing Amy comic? Does that exist somewhere?
No.
Okay, just the last page in the cover?
Right.
I feel like I know as much about Chasing Amy without knowing Kevin or actually physically being present. And so
Gotcha.
everybody else's question in my life is like, why are you doing this? It's to pay tribute to this movie, but also to see why do LGBTQ people not like this movie and like what makes good representation.
It's an honest movie, if nothing else.
Yes.
It's shown from Kevin's point of view.
Seeing that movie, like, I was like, oh, this is an option. I am gay or I am straight, basically, right?
Yeah, you had one of two options.
Yeah, like, and now more people are coming out today more than ever, but they're coming out as like bisexual, pansexual. You know, there's been a total shift in the mindset. And Chasing Amy helped me like figure out that, oh, that's me.
A lot of people love Chasing Amy just for that. That it was so honest and so raw.
Yeah. Do you like the movie?
Love it. I love all of Kevin's movies.
Yeah.
Even the ones that nobody else likes.
Holy shit. I don't even, what do you even push? I don't know. All right. Oh, wow. Hi. Hi.
Hi, I'm Emily.
Hey, nice to meet you. This is Brad. Wow. Holy shit. This is bonkers. Hello. Oh my God. Oh my God.
So good. Welcome to the house that Amy built in many ways.
This is amazing. She friendly? He friendly?
She's very. She's just crippled this up. Chasing Amy was fucking pivotal because it changed me as a filmmaker, it changed me as a professional, it changed me as a human being and stuff. It is kind of the movie without which nothing else fucking happens.
I'm just so fucking happy you made that movie. I mean, it's...
You and me both.
I mean, I don't want to cry because I'm an ugly crier, but
You and me both.
we're both, I know you cry pretty easily from the
time.
internet.
Oh my God.
I love that you're a dude that like...
That dude
feels
wouldn't
his
exist
feelings.
were it not for Chasing Amy. Like,
This dude wouldn't exist if not for Chasing Amy.
that's funny.
Where's she at? She says she's coming out. Where are you? Anyway, I'm more excited. I'm not nervous. And I know I didn't forget how to kiss, but... You guys use these flowers. You're right, sorry, you're right. That is just that's too far over. That's too far. That's still too far. It's off center, it looks weird.
Oh my God, filmmakers.
Is that fine?
That should be okay. Okay. If not, I can always take it off.
The key to my heart?
Yeah.
And take it off?
You could have given me an engagement ring already.
Yep.
I'm Riley, and I'm Sav's girlfriend.
Yeah, finger clips.
We've known each other for like 7 years, maybe? That's gay. We met each other when we were very little. Like, it feels like a long time ago.
When I was 17 and you were 18.
We met online, on Tumblr. You gotta move your shoulders too,
I
though.
did.
You did it terribly.
We were nerdy teenagers that liked Glee. And we became friends.
And we bonded over your lies.
My lies?
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, I love Lord of the Rings. And you were like, oh my God, I love Lord of the Rings too. Little did I know, you had no idea what you were talking about.
No, I really liked you and wanted to be your friend, so
Yeah.
I lied about liking Lord of the Rings.
This whole
So that
relationship has based on a lie.
Yeah, you were like, want to name a dog Gimli? And I
Yeah.
was like, Gimli? And you were like, from
Lord of the Rings.
And I was
Everybody
like-
knows that.
And I was like, oh shit, I've been caught. I wanted you to be my friend really bad. And I thought that if I didn't like Lord of the Rings, you wouldn't want to talk to me.
We followed each other, and one day we started messaging each other on the website, and then one day I was gonna be away from my computer, and I just couldn't stand the thought of not talking to you for that long. I think it was like a long weekend or something. And I was just like, okay, this is a little weird, but you know, can you give me your number? I'll give you mine and we can text. That was like a kind of a crucial step to our relationship as friends at this point.
Check this out. There's a Chasing Amy hat down there.
Yeah, I see
And then
it.
there's, I think that's French, a French VHS of
Yeah.
Chasing Amy.
Archie et Jughead couchaient ensemble. Ferme-la, tu veux bien? Ouais, c'est la vérité. Dans le couple, Archie jouait la femme et Jughead était l'homme.
And I told Kevin, I was like, oh man, you have the hat at the store. And he's like, do you want it? And I was like, Kevin, that's your hat. I don't need it.
Why didn't you say yes?
If Kevin wants to get me a hat, he can get me a hat, but I'm not going to take the one from the store.
Get on it, Kevin.
Lovely, lovely.
That's just me.
Fucking look at that. Are you in it?
Yeah.
I think that's smart.
I mean, I'm not thrilled about
No,
necessarily.
I think that's smart.
But
You had me at hello.
All right, sound. Rolling. Cameras.
Speed.
That's speed.
K1, take one. Soft sticks.
Can you take me through the genesis of creating Chasing Amy?
Chasing Amy is a weird bouillabaisse, right? Like for years, I've told a version of, you know, why that movie happened, and they're all true, but it's more like all of them rather than any one single path. Donald, my brother, being gay, plays a big part in what Chasing Amy becomes. When I told my brother I wanted to be a filmmaker, I said, what about movies? It must be irritating to sit through a fucking movie where two people that you and I identify with like fucking fall in love. And he goes, well, I can identify with love.
You had me at hello.
But yeah, it's weird that 99% of the things that I go out to see are about straight people. I committed in my head in that moment, I'm always gonna fucking try to whip in a little gay content for Don. Then I got Scott Mosier, and this has everything to do with where Chasing Amy comes from.
When we met in film school, we were just like, hey, like you write a movie, I'll write a movie, and then we'll go make it. I wrote some piece of shit, and he wrote Clerks.
So I finished Clerks first, and he came down, and kind of got trapped into the role of the de facto producer.
To go back to the very, very beginning, we make Clerks, and we get into Sundance, and John Pearson is repping the film, and he's also repping a film called Go Fish, which was written by Guinevere Turner and directed by Rose Trochet.
My name is Guinevere Turner. I am a screenwriter, a filmmaker, an actress, a lover, a warrior, and a warrior princess.
Everyone was looking forward to Go Fish. Everyone knew about the avant-garde black and white lesbian movie and stuff. Our movie was like, there was no buzz whatsoever.
Clerks and Go Fish, which was my first film, they're basically like siblings in the indie film world of the 90s. They are black and white, they are endless chatter that only the people who are being represented would care about.
It's all about everybody being on your side as well. It's not only about romance, it's about having good friends, and it's about having people rooting for you, you know? And yeah, those are things I think that's what makes it a universal film.
Go Fish comes out of a very instinctive need to be like, what the fuck? Where are we in lesbian movies? We weren't even outraged, we were so young, we were confused about like, why haven't we seen ourselves?
The girls were on fire because their movie was playing long before ours and stuff. So we started hanging out with them there. But, you know, Scott's like funny and charming, like way more funny and charming than me, to be honest. And so him and Gwen like hit it off instantly.
I became incredibly smitten or sort of like enthralled with Guinevere Turner.
I just developed what I can only call a romantic friendship with Scott Mosier, who is just a lovely person. Like, Kevin is a smartass, asshole, wonderful fuckface. Scott Mosier is the yin to that yang.
He'd go up to the city and hang out with Gwen, and Gwen would come down to New Jersey and hang out with Scott. They would just go like fuck off, and then they'd hang out in Scott's room with like the door closed, and you know. So.
This girl is gay. We were in this moment where we had all just become filmmakers of note while not expecting it at all. And I just spent a lot of time with Mosier. I just loved him.
Part of Chasing Amy comes from me watching that and going, you should do a movie. I literally said to Scott, you should write a movie about this shit.
In the moment he said it, I was like, I don't even know what it is. Like, I had no clarity about I don't even know what the story was. I'd sort of expressed how I felt, and I knew how she felt, and I knew who she was. So by sort of laying all the cards on the table, I think it actually is the reason why we had this sort of romantic friendship.
I love you.
I love you too. This is really cool.
What?
This park is awesome. This place is awesome. Being here with you is awesome. I don't remember exactly the first time I saw your face. It was probably pretty early on. Being able to put a face to this best friend that I kept in my pocket was amazing. And then I heard your voice and I was like, that is the sexiest voice I've ever heard in my entire life.
I'm always self-conscious of being on camera, so I'm way more self-conscious when you're here, though, for some reason.
Why?
I don't know, because I think our relationship is pretty private.
I like you, Hogan. I haven't liked a man in a long time, and I want you to feel comfortable with me, because I'd really like us to be friends.
So part of it was Scott and Gwen going like, man, like fucking, what a great story. The guy who falls in love with a lesbian, he should write that as a movie. No? I'll do it.
Kind of weird being in a place where a bunch of stuff changed your life, you know, like the fact that Clerks happened, I mean Chasing Amy happened. I don't feel transformed emotionally or anything, but it's cool to come to a place where my life was weirdly affected in a positive way. All right, let's go.
Clerks began my career, Mallrats killed my career. So you got me needing to do something to stay in this business or else we were out. That's a big part of where that movie comes from. And then, of course, Joey.
Holden, Banky, this pile of PMS is Alyssa Jones.
The character of Alyssa is actually a confluence of me, his only lesbian friend, and Joey, who he met and fell in love with on the set of Mallrats.
My next guest is a very talented actress who's been getting great reviews for her role in the film Chasing Amy. It's in theaters right now. Please welcome Joey Lauren Adams.
Chasing Amy without Joey would have been a soulless husk, like an idea. And Joey and I are in this relationship, and then we're starting to have these issues. That becomes more interesting to me, where I'm like, well, maybe that should be what the movie's about. So maybe the idea is guy falls in love with a lesbian, but what trips him up is not that he's fallen in love with a lesbian. What trips him up is at one point, she had sex with a guy.
I was very much like Holden. I was very insecure about girlfriends past at the time that I wrote that movie.
I have a very particular fondness for Joey Lauren Adams. She is an Arkansas farm gal and so grounded.
You come from
Arkansas.
Arkansas. All right, and you guys, is your family there, are they pretty conservative?
Yeah, I have some, members that are very religious, and then others who aren't. They're just a little backwards sometimes.
And of course, young women often have an image and are not allowed to be much more than that image.
I I've been out of shape the same way over that costume party when we were in high school.
You fucked Rick Darris on a pool table. With everyone watching, no less.
It was a costume party, T.S. No one could tell it was me.
But I appreciated her down-to-earthness and her native intelligence.
You play someone like Alyssa in Chasing Amy, who's so with it and articulate. It's hard to go and play the obligatory girlfriend in some film. And this character's strong and smart and funny.
Dire Straits has a song called Romeo and Juliet. And there's a really wonderful line in it where he says, I dreamed your dreams for you and now your dreams are real. That's what it always felt like. She really wanted to be that actress. She was friends with Parker Posey. And Parker, the year before, was the indie it girl with the movie Party Girl. Like, Joey wanted that, to be considered like an actress, serious actress. And within like a year's time, 2 years' time, I was able to give her that kind of gift wrap. But, you know, she had a lot to do with it.
The Golden Globe, that's a big, big deal.
I think you do really nice work. You're gonna be a big star.
Thank you. I'm just saying, this is like the pinnacle of my career.
Chasing Amy and the rest of my fucking professional career was forged in a cauldron of 2 years. Not just my career, but who I would become as a person. Generally speaking, it all ends if Chasing Amy doesn't happen. But if you went back and told 27-year-old Kevin Smith that, hey man, fucking, to get all that, you have to sacrifice this relationship, that kid wouldn't have done it. That kid was so surprised that everything crumbled after that. He thought it would only make things, like, stronger. He was very naive.
Do you want to play a game? Are they girlfriends or are they sisters?
Yes, I want to pick that. I like that game. I like that game.
I had been in love with you. It sounds stupid to say from like the first second we started talking, but that's really how it feels. I don't remember a time knowing you that I did not like you or love you so expansively it felt like it was gonna swallow my heart whole. I thought it was so cool that you were like an out lesbian to your friends.
I was very out on the internet, very closeted in real life.
Do you remember that proposal we saw there a few years ago? The proposal we saw there?
Yes, the shirt. I would just love if they would reveal it and if the words would be like out of order.
Yeah. It's pretty dumb, right?
We'll marry you, me. I don't think it's dumb.
You don't think it's dumb?
No.
So if I gave you this right now, would you be okay with that? I had picked a date that I was gonna tell you that I liked you. And you were the first person I came out to as queer because I wanted you to know that I was a romantic option. And it was the entire reason I came out.
You were the first person that I talked to every day and the last person I talked to at night.
You said yes.
The second my alarm went off at like 6 in the morning or something, I was already texting you and we were up at the same time. And we're just like texting back and forth, back and forth. We helped each other get through the day because back then when we met, it was dark times for both of us. You know, being a teen is just the worst thing ever. And we just helped each other.
Fellas, I'm off the market officially.
What about the ladies?
Ladies, actually.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Oh,
We're filming BTS. Is that okay?
Second.
Is it okay if we film some BTS?
Happily.
All right.
Folks, here's some of the most metal water you'll ever drink in your life.
This is what you said of John Pearson in 2003. It's rare when you become friendly with your heroes. It's rarer still when, even after 10 years of friendship and familiarity, they remain your heroes. I guess I never really thought of you as my hero growing up because I was just a Chasing Amy fanatic. But in this process of getting to make this movie, I think you have become a hero not on a pedestal,
right,
but as the person who helped make all of this possible.
You know, I'd be lying if I was like, oh my God, I was trying to reach you. You know what I'm saying? But you got reached regardless. And I didn't know it was you, but like, I was telling my story, that's all I ever do. But when you told me the story, I'm like, oh, I haven't met you before, but I've met you before. People who are like, that fucking saved my life. Your case stands out because I'm like, Savannah, way too young for this shit to matter. They've made way too many better, more expressive, more on point, more from the community point of view movies than this. But when you explained it and, in the TED Talk, I was like, that makes sense. It was surprising but delightful that you found something in it, like that it played a role in your world. Like as an artist, as the guy who made it, of course, that just means like everything.
All right, let's stop for a minute.
Are you happy?
So we started dating, and I was out and completely open to being queer, but you were not. We were dating for 2 years by the time you came out as queer to your family.
Yeah. I'm from Mexico City, born and raised. One of the first cities in the world to legalize gay marriage. However, in my family, in my circle, there was it was like, okay, it's great that gay people can get married, but can they do it over there? Ow! Hide my double chin. I wanted to talk to you about the thing I told my dad, because he's my dad.
Yeah.
But I was a little bit worried because he can be a little bit traditional, and like honestly I don't even know how much he knows about like trans people. Personally, I was very nervous because I didn't want anybody to be anything other than nice to you and accepting. He was just like, what does that mean to your relationship? And I was just like, well, things are gonna stay the same. We still love each other with everything we have, and nothing has changed. And then he was like, oh, well, I'm really glad that things are progressing. And then he was like, is he happy? And he used the pronoun, like straight up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's surprising and very sweet.
Yeah. And I was like, yes. This, in terms of identity and self-image and stuff like that, it's the happiest I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I'm very happy for you both. And another thumbs up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is like all you can ask for, right?
Welcome to the Kansas City Stop on the Chainsaw Bob Reboot Roadshow Tour. Put your hands together so the folks at home know you're real.
So this movie is like Chainsaw Bob Strike Back mashed together with Clerks 2. We got, our little 8-minute Chasing Amy sequel in the middle of the movie. Really quite lovely, and it didn't exist prior to the last week of shooting.
Nice to meet you, Alex.
Nice to meet you.
SAV. Oh, that's awesome name.
Sav, Brandon, nice to meet
I'm
you.
the director of Chasing Amy.
Love Chasing Amy.
I think it's way more sincere than a lot of his other stuff.
He was on the forefront of issues that people are talking about today.
I think there would be a little less controversy about it today if it came out, but that's probably just some idealistic thinking on my part because I don't really follow the news that much.
If you can't watch that movie and find anything about it that you don't love, something's really wrong with you. But
Chasing Amy was, to me, more of a film made for straight white men that was, kind of introducing people to queer communities.
Chasing Amy, when it came out, was controversial. And I remember even thinking to myself as I'm watching it, I'm like, I wonder what my gay friends are gonna think of this.
If you've been marginalized because of media that says that lesbians can all of a sudden not be lesbians if they find the right man, I totally get why this movie would trigger you.
Hi, I'm Kurt Loder with MTV News. Boy Meets Lesbian is the high concept thesis of a new movie opening on Friday in Boston, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Atlanta, and a few other cities. The movie is Chasing Amy, the third film from director Kevin Smith. The theme, once again, is post-high school anxiety, but does the boy get the lesbian? And for that matter, how much of a lesbian is the lesbian in question?
It's giving certain men this belief that you should go after your lesbian friends if you're attracted to them, right? And that, like, they might reciprocate.
Do you remember for one fucking second who I am?
So, I mean, you know, people change.
Oh, it's that simple.
Chasing Amy is a very particular queer story.
If queer cinema were a bus, Chasing Amy would be like outside the bus. But it would be outside the bus in relatively good company.
There are other movies from the same time period and earlier that are much more sensitive with their perspectives, with their language, but that may not have been as mainstream.
Can I kiss you?
How come we didn't know about this before? I mean, you don't seem gay. I didn't say I was gay. I said I was in love.
And so, like, even today, we fall into the trappings of mainstream expectations when it comes to queer media.
Do you understand why certain LGBTQ people may not like Chasing Amy?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely, absolutely. Believe me, I've had 22 years to get used to that. And I got used to that on fucking first week it came out. There were some people, as Gwyn predicted, that were upset.
The backlash to be expected, of course, is from the lesbian community. And not really unfairly, like, why, you're a white straight male, what are you doing writing, you know, a movie about gay people, or especially a lesbian character?
But Gwyn also said, I was always surprised that more people didn't come after you. The biggest blowback, and God's truth, that I heard, felt, and was told about was when they told me that Ellen and Anne Heche went to see Chasing Amy, and it was reported that they walked out in the first half hour. And us being like, man, like, well, that's the most famous lesbian in the world. We just lost her. That means we're never getting on the Ellen show.
Kevin Smith can't know what it's like to be a queer person or a trans person.
Now that we know that we're attracted to each other, what do we do?
But he can know what it's like to know them and to have them in his life, and that's the story he's telling.
A big complaint seems to be about Banky, who'll like use pretty harsh terminology and throw around the F word and stuff like that. Well, yeah, Banky's not the villain, but Banky's meant to be the idiot in the story.
What I tell you, she just needs the right guy. All every woman really wants, be it mother, senator, nun, is some serious deep dicking.
Jason Lee's character, Binky, is the way in for straight guys watching this movie.
I remember telling Kevin that I was nervous about some of Banky's dialogue. Yeah, Kevin, there's just a lot of offensive things that Banky's saying, and I don't want to be hated. Like, I don't want people to think Banky's just some ignorant prick.
What does it matter if I refer to her as a dyke?
Banky's just flat out gay. He was just repressed. That's why he was so angry and projecting and shit. But I would like to state, for the record, did create all these characters, or rather steal them from real life people. So if anybody gets to say what happens to him, I think it's me.
It isn't a healthy thing to say that your homophobia is excused because you are gay and you're closeted and you're trying to deal with that. Especially if you're hurting other queer people. You don't just get a pass for that.
When you say that all homophobes are secretly gay, what you're doing is blaming gay people for homophobia.
Exactly. And not just, you know, bigots.
Right.
As time moves on, we look at these films that have been made and we start to read them a little differently.
There's so much that you would not get away with today that they got away with just fine and nobody even questioned it. Like that there would be a homophobic character that uses the word faggot over and over and over again. I think now we would judge that director and that would be very problematic. Back in the day, he was just accurately portraying how a guy like that would actually talk.
What if she's carrying a disease?
And you could just bring to life flawed characters.
It's very much a film of its time, but you know, it's still coming out of that era where people don't know as much about like the LGBTQ community.
A House panel says no to gay marriages. Yesterday, the Judiciary Committee approved a bill that would keep same-sex unions invalid under federal law, even if a state makes them legal.
What is it about gay men that terrifies the rest of the world?
The Hooper X character in the film is really sort of the moral compass.
There has always been a hard thing when it comes to like any sort of like doubly marginalized community of how do we tackle both things at once?
It's an element of what's called two-ness going on there. And two-ness is being black and being an American. But two-ness can also be black and being gay.
It's pretty easy for Holden and Banky to write a comic book about, a bunch of stoners, superheroes. There's not a lot of risk there.
I gotta deal with being a minority and the minority of the minority and nobody supporting my ass.
That character could be the whole subject of a whole film of itself.
One of my first notes that I was taking while I was watching was Ben Affleck's goatee was a bad idea. And, well, that's the first note, so I guess that tells you all you need to know.
When I was growing up, I was like, Holden, what a cool guy. And then I like grew up and I was like, no, Banky was such a babe in that movie. He was like the cool guy. Holden's like fucking wearing like this loose flannel and these jeans that don't fit him right. And like, get this goatee, like.
No wonder he attracted a lesbian.
Let's go into the movie.
Naturally, I gravitate toward the Holden character. That is the closest character that I've ever written to myself.
This girl loves me, my friend. Loves me. You know what I'm saying?
It's a film that centers Holden McNeil, who is a straight white man. And so his lens really shapes the storyline. And while there are sort of diverse perspectives, it's still very much Holden's lens.
There's always this assumption that all we need is to meet this right man, and then we will change everything about ourselves to be with him because it's a standard, it's tradition, it's just the way that things are.
Why girls?
Why men?
Because that's the standard.
And so I think we've been faced with that for most of our lives. And so a lot of lesbians, I think, innately they detest that. And I understand why.
There's this scene in the movie where Holden chases after Alyssa in the rain, and she like lets him have it. She's just like, screw you.
That was so unfair.
I'm lesbian, you're an idiot, how dare you, I'm gonna hitch a ride back home. And I was like, yes, like that's so good. And then he like mopes back to his car, and I'm like, get out of there, Ben Affleck. And then she runs back to him and kisses him, and I was like, no.
I was watching Ben Affleck's speech, and I was thinking like, holy crap, this is actually literally the speech that anyone, gay or straight, would want to hear.
I love you. Very, very simple.
Where I like related to Chasing Amy coming into it was that Kevin is such a romantic in the way that he describes those feelings of love.
You are the epitome of everything I have ever looked for in another human being.
That's how I feel about my fiance. This is what I'm sending him. Taking my fiance on a date to some diner you shot in 20 years ago. And this is where Ben Affleck's at. My butt has been where Ben Affleck's butt has been. Basically Ben Affleck. A little shorter. This movie made me be honest with myself. Chasing Amy and chasing Amy. You did it too late. You tried to cheat, I won.
This is the worst. You brought me all the way to New Jersey.
Last time I was here was not very honest with myself about who I was, and now I'm back here and engaged, more out. It's a pretty good situation to be in. And now, I guess the weight of this place isn't as heavy. It's just a place. And I'm not nearly as nervous as I was just to exist in the world or shoot in New Jersey. It's kind of nice. It's the Chasing Amy memorial table.
Where a homosexual's gonna die.
You're the only homo at this table. I'm half.
I hope that went on the record.
That I'm half gay?
Because you're half gay.
The character of Alyssa Jones is Joey Adams. It's written for Joey, about Joey, based on things Joey said. The bigger difference, of course, is Alyssa is, she identifies as a lesbian, at least in the beginning of the movie.
I think Alyssa Jones as a character was an incredible role for a woman at that time. There really weren't tons of roles for women that had robust, intelligent dialogue and banter and the ability to be more than one-dimensional.
I think Kevin writes well for women because Kevin's very in touch with his feminine side. He's very much the female in our relationship, and I'm more the male. He's very romantic, he's very sentimental.
This character that Kevin Smith created of Alyssa is sort of like maybe a leap and a bound above the rest of the film and like past the time period in which this movie came out.
She's cool. She like gets on the mic at a dyke night, you know, and makes out with her girlfriend in public.
There are things in this movie that are so ill-advised. Like, they're on the swings and he says like,
Well, where's the penetration in lesbian sex? A finger?
She goes,
Observe.
I don't know if anyone in this room has ever fisted someone, but you for sure don't do it like that.
Alyssa Jones as a queer character still comes in a very appetizing to the male gaze package. She's blonde, she's thin, she's sexually available, she has a promiscuous past.
I thought you'd be into this.
You did. What does that say about me?
But sweetheart, you've done stuff like this before. I mean, this should be no big deal for you.
Any aspect of that movie that might have seemed ahead of its time when we made it has long since, like, history has caught up and then gone past it to the point where people do look at it as problematic or something like that.
This movie is like so accidentally good at talking about biphobia. There are so many things that the character Alyssa will say that I have thought about or seen in my queer experiences with other queer women, and I just felt like how interesting it was that Kevin Smith ended up making this movie when the intent is clearly not there.
It really infuriates me on this film when we hear feedback about how it's some guy's sexual fantasy and he's portraying women and lesbians in a bad way, because he really does. He has such an honest respect for women, and he really understands them. And I think it's obvious in most of his scripts.
The way that Alyssa as a character defines her experience is really beautiful. She offers language for things that people have not been able to say before.
I like that Alyssa is never actually questioning her own sexuality. Everyone else is doing it for her, but she's good. She knows what's up.
One of my favorite parts of the film is when they're lying in each other's arms holding Alyssa, and he says something that's like very male, right? Like, why me? Why am I so special? And she has this beautiful, like, sweet, short monologue about,
I came to this on my own terms.
which is what makes it okay.
I'm not with you because of what family, society, life tried to instill in me from day one.
She didn't fall into a heterosexual relationship because it was what was expected of her or what the norm was, what the assumption was. She chose it. So being able to see somebody own their experience in that way is really beautiful.
I think it taught me the importance of, like, at least in that time, of labeling myself as bi, not allowing anyone to tell me that I wasn't queer enough.
The one scene that gives us, I think, the most insight about her is the scene with her friends, because you get to see kind of her friends react to her sexual fluidity.
She's like, yeah, I'm with this guy now, and they're like,
another one bites the dust.
And it's like, in that moment, it's not as if like, oh, she's just a different kind of queer person. It's as if her queerness is now erased. She is just a person trying to find love, find companionship, find someone who will be her equal in so many things. And I think that's touching.
To immediately half your options by eliminating the possibility of finding that one person within your own gender, that just seems stupid to me.
It's hard to pinpoint bisexuality as a media representation because it really operates between two polar extremes. There's the invisibility and then there's the hypervisibility. So the invisibility refers to the fact that bisexual stories haven't been told for very long. Language is really important. Being able to have a way to talk about something gives us the ability to be that. So if you don't have something to call yourself, how do you explain it to the people who are important to you?
I'm not even sure bisexuality exists. I think it's just a layover on the way to gay town.
When are you gonna make up your mind between dick and pussy and spare us the gory bisexual details?
Well, I'll see your fugitive former flame and raise you a lesbian daughter. Marissa? Well, I'm sure it's just a phase. It was for me.
The hypervisibility is all of the stereotypes that we attach to bisexuality. And Chasing Amy brings up a lot of those things. The idea that bisexuality is associated with promiscuity or sexual experience. People often think of bisexual people as being confused because they aren't being true to themselves. A lot of that confusion comes from the social scripts that are laid in front of us. It's the cultural context. It's not that that person doesn't understand how they individually feel.
I love it.
All right, y'all. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Coverage.
1, 2, 3. Uno mas.
Take me through the genesis of you two meeting. I've heard Kevin's point of view on it.
Well, Kevin has a far superior memory than I do.
That's just a very nice way of saying Kevin cared more than I ever did.
I remember meeting you.
All right, let's
but
hear
it's
where.
like, it's a boring story if I just say like, yeah, I walked onto set and he was there.
Is that where we met?
That's where I remember.
See? I care more than she does. We met in an audition for Mallrats.
Okay, but that's where it
You
gets a
did walk
little-
into a room.
That's where it gets a little hazy for me.
You don't remember this? Fuck. This is why we broke up.
So did you guys start doing it while you're still in production, or did you wait till Mallrats was finished shooting?
Biodome I was shooting Biodome.
You were shooting
No,
Bio-
actually, I was done with Biodome.
You were
We
done with-
hated each other.
When I started dating Joey, which was after Mallrats, we met on Mallrats and we had great chemistry, like just fooling around. We'd make fun of each other, mock each other like all the time and shit. I didn't realize we were flirting. That's how I talk to most girls.
On Mallrats, when he first gave me my line reading, he also told me what to do with my hand while I was saying the line. And I almost had to leave the room for a second just to sort of, my face turned red and it's just so enraging. But you just learn to swallow your pride and then you see your performance and you see the take that when you did it your way and then the take when you did it his way and you just go, oh, he's right.
She was just cool. Joey was like fun to be around.
Because I think he's funny.
That
I
helped.
would really laugh hard at he could really make me laugh. So.
But it wasn't like you didn't give it away for free. You made me earn it and stuff, but like they were all top shelf. But the one time she said, like, you're the funniest person I know. Like that's fucking everything.
It's nice when you do a dramatic scene, a cut, and it was the greatest thing in the world to have my boyfriend come over and hold me.
She was literally my muse. I had a real insecurity about like she had a bigger past than me. The scene in Chasing Amy where Holden is like baiting her.
Do you know a guy named Rick Darris?
Rick Darris?
Yeah.
Sure, we used to hang out in high school.
That was me.
I admired Kevin so much because he had found such a strong voice and knew who he was without having to go live in Bali.
Alyssa, with you because I feel inadequate. As you've had such a big life and so much experience, and my life's been pretty small in comparison.
That doesn't matter to me.
Did start functioning as I'd write a scene and give it to her. We'd talk about it and like she'd get emotional because you were like, this is an apology. That scene in the movie is kind of like, oh, Holden figured it out too. And of course Holden figured it out because the guy who writes for Holden figured it out.
Looks like a very personal story.
Finally had something personal to say.
Chasing Amy has touched me in ways that I didn't anticipate. I wanted to feel love so badly watching that movie. I was like, I want some of that. It's a roadmap of how to not fuck up your relationship. That's where they have their big fight, right
Hold
in
on.
this spot.
Okay. Well, we're purifying it with our butts. And this is where we had our big laugh.
I think even calling you best friend, it didn't like cover what I felt for you. It was just like, this is like a soulmate. We were bonded on like
some next level. I could talk to you about anything, and it just kept me going. And you know, I think I did that for you too.
You were so supportive at a time when I was so alone in the world.
I mean, it was dark times for both of us. Every night you would just have like these dark thoughts. You would just talk about how, you know, you hated school and like you hated your life. The main thing was that you just felt like so alone in the world. And I just remember being like so adamant, you have me, you have me, you have me. Maybe it's not enough, but it's something. I could just be this tiny, tiny thing that maybe was worth it, you know, staying alive.
I feel a lot of shame about that period.
You shouldn't.
I do. I feel so much shame because I put a lot on you.
But it's not about putting things on me. Even before we were dating, we've always been a team.
Can we cut? Everybody ready? Everybody speeding?
Chasing Amy, well received, gets great fucking reviews up there. It did as it was intended. Popped Joey in a big bad way. She was getting pressed like crazy.
But it was.
Well, I'm in front of this one.
Well, yeah, but you have to be able to hold it.
Her and I would do press together as well, which was kind of fun. And our relationship started kind of faltering and stuff. The movie came out in April of '97. We were broken up by July of '97, and the relationship was over.
You came on the show when Chasing Amy came out, and we were rooting for you then, and this is very exciting.
Thank you.
And you deserve this. The Golden Globe ceremony is going to be on January 18th, so we'll cross our fingers for you. Thanks so much for coming.
It's very easy to romanticize the end of the relationship and be like, our relationship was sacrificed on the altar of Chasing Amy. Like, that's where our relationship went. Like, I'm not saying if there was no movie, we'd still be fucking together today. Just putting everything out there probably brought it to an end a lot sooner than it maybe might have naturally gone. I never have a single regret about it. There's no way I would be in a marriage that has lasted 20 years if I didn't meet Joey and she didn't shape me. When you watch Chasing Amy at the tail end of the movie, and you get this feeling like he might figure it out one day, and the scene in Reboot allows you proof that, like, he worked it out.
Alyssa and I aren't married. Married people don't like each other. We're co-parents.
Wait a sec, you have a kid?
Yeah. Alyssa and her partner wanted to have a baby, and since we've known each other, and more importantly, liked each other for 20 years, they asked me to be the father.
In making that little Chasing Amy sequel in the middle of Reboot, I kind of got to go and address the criticisms.
It's always the story that should have been told from a queer perspective or a woman's perspective or any perspective other than it's just white males. What was really beautiful to me was catching up with Kevin and hearing him talk about where he was in his life and where the scene came from for him.
In the first draft of the scene, Holden and Alyssa had sex to have the baby. And so Joey was like, Kevin, you can't do that.
Because I just had a remarkable conversation with you about how much the movie meant to you. But I almost didn't. I almost just wrote back like, oh, it's great, I love it, can't wait to shoot it.
How wonderful that somebody who is such a fan of the movie affected what the storytelling would be. That's crazy.
Chasing Amy has always, like, in a weird way, been part of it's different in that way. And that Kevin and I were dating, and he wrote it when we were dating, and it's about part of our growth.
I walked out of that relationship fixed, and nobody really can say that at the end of a relationship. It wasn't like we ended like, see you later, pal. Like, you know, it was kind of shitty. Apparently I wrote a passive-aggressive letter and just left Toronto.
And left a broom.
And left a broom. Well, she said she needed a broom. And it was such a fuck you move, because she had told me, like, at one point, she's like, I need a broom from this place. So I wrote this, like, Dear John breakup letter and shit, and I went out of my way to buy her a broom and left it with a note, and it's like, P.S., they say it sweeps clean. Oh, I was such an asshole. But in any event, I became the person that I became for the rest of my life because of that relationship. I never went back to being the other guy.
Please know that I am forever changed because of who you are and what you've meant to me.
Anyway.
That's all I got. Thank you both for this. This is amazing.
Thank you.
This is a dream fucking come true.
Excellent job.
Yep.
All right. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
All right.
Well
let's,
done, kids. What are you
let's
doing
wrap.
tomorrow? The one-on-one interview?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Finally.
Great to meet you.
Guys, thank you so much for everything.
Excellent job. Look at you making a movie.
I know how documentaries work, and they always do this thing where while the camera's rolling before you're actually asked a question, they just like do this thing of like me being uncomfortable.
I'm just gonna let you keep talking.
In 1994, lesbians were not represented except for movies like Desert Hearts and Claire of the Moon.
Sex between women is as raw as it gets.
What we did with Go Fish was life-changing.
Why are you taunting me? I don't need to be reminded every day that I haven't slept with a woman in 10 months.
Got letters from everywhere. Young women telling me that their lives have been changed by seeing this movie. We actually ended up becoming poster children for lesbianism. I'm not gonna lie, it was very challenging that we made Go Fish and Kevin met us and he decided that this would be an interesting subject. He was like, what do lesbians do? And I just started talking about what it means to be gay to the mainstream world for the first time in my life. And so I'm like, no, like ask me what? Now watching Chasing Amy, I'm like, huh. That idea when she says like, I want to go fuck this girl. And then he's like, what? How do you?
You said fuck. She said fuck. You said fuck to that girl. You said that you'd fuck her.
And it gets into a whole conversation about the broader term of fucking versus penetration.
Well, then what's with saying fuck? Shouldn't you say eat her out or at least modify the term fuck with something like fist?
I'm like, you're welcome, Kevin Smith. That is 100% a conversation that we had. Watching Chasing Amy all these years later, Kevin Smith has an ear for dialogue. He's just really good at that. There's so much in this movie that makes me just happy to have been a part of it. It is heartfelt. It is lovely. It's so within itself. It's so true. There are a lot of like subtleties about friendships, particularly friendships between men. I feel generous in a way that I 100% didn't when I was that age. And I had various decades of dyke rage about it. I was 25 years old and I had made a movie about dykes that no one had ever seen. And I watched him doing everything and getting all the deals and all the things.
The winners are Clerks, directed by Kevin Smith.
Had our first screening was really good, and the second screening was great too. There was a piece in the New York Times about it as well, so then the buzz started. And after that, we had a sit-down dinner with Harvey Weinstein and Miramax, and they were into it, and they picked it up.
And I remember just like sitting with him and just being like, dude, do you see what's happening? Like, you're getting all the opportunities, and I'm not. And he was like, you're jealous, and you're being weird. I don't think either of us knew exactly what was going to happen, but what emerged was that Kevin got an empire and we were just some dykes.
So you make Chasing Amy for $250,000.
We did.
And you take the film back to Harvey Weinstein.
Yes. So as we'd met with him up at the Stein Erikson Lodge and I pitched, we're gonna make the movie for this. If you like it, you keep it. If not, we take it out and sell it. We took it back to him and showed him the movie in the Tribeca screening room. He's crying, Harvey. And he goes, that's a Miramax movie, which I loved at the time. I loved hearing that. I thought he was who I thought he was. Now, put through the filter of what we know, tough to fucking feel sentimental about it. I mean, maybe that's how I do feel sentimental. I go, how sweet, like that naive, like 26, 27-year-old. He just believed everything he was presented. We go to Sundance with it. It was an amazing evening and stuff. Harvey had dollar signs in his eyes and fucking everybody was happy. And it would have been great if it stayed that way. This is Sundance 97. So if you follow the Harvey Weinstein case, that's the year with Rose McGowan where he attacks Rose McGowan. All of this was happening while we're doing Chasing Amy, showing this movie to the world that's very feminist and kind of forward thinking and stuff. I can't erase the past. I can't go back and take his name off the fucking movies. I don't even own the movies and shit like that. I can't undo the fact that my career is tied up with him.
Hi, Joey.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good. We're at your house.
We are.
Thank you for letting us be here.
Yeah.
This
This is the first time there's been a film crew inside.
This is a moment
Ask me something I haven't been asked about Chasing Amy.
Okay.
That's a lot of pressure.
I think I can, you know what? I think I can do it though. I mean,
Can
this moment is 13 years in the making. I think the first time I saw it, I was like, this is a love story and I want love. Like I feel, I think the first time I saw it, I was like very much Holden. And then slowly as I started to know more about my sexuality, this is my only reference point to how I may feel about having a fluid sexuality, right?
Right.
And that movie gave me that reference point. And it literally is how I came out to my mom, was because she didn't know what pansexual was. I was like, do you remember Chasing Amy? I feel how Alyssa feels. And that was the moment where my mom was like, is that all? Is that what all this fuss has been about?
Well, you have a very cool mom.
Very cool mom.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I feel like I can ask you a question that maybe you haven't been asked 1,000 times before. But I will have to ask you some very basic questions.
Right.
So you get this role. It's written specifically for you. It's tailored for you. And then, but also there's this LGBTQ element of it. Was that daunting to play as somebody who's straight?
Slightly. I mean, I think because the script was somewhat personal between Kevin and I felt I had a right to play the role to some degree. And my biggest fear was like lipstick lesbian, that sort of thing. I didn't want her to seem like that. And I just kept thinking like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And then I just realized that like, I shouldn't do anything different. It's not a haircut. It's not the jewelry. It's not, am I gonna try to play her butch? Just play her authentic. For me to try and like, do what I think is gay just seemed wrong.
Does it feel weird to be, I don't know, like the face of Chasing Amy?
Yes. Kevin wrote that movie, not me. It was my story to some degree, but the film wasn't my truth. If I would have written a film about Kevin and I's relationship, it would not have been that film. I was getting to play a character that was complicated and amazing, but for me to sort of take credit for how it affected someone feels strange to me. Whatever moved you was Kevin's truth. It wasn't my truth. It's weird for a stranger to put that on you. There's a weird energy exchange right here, and and I feel like are you looking to me for something that I can't give you? I don't know what it is you want from me. I don't know why you want to talk to me.
I don't know. It's cool that I get to talk to you at all. I hope we get to be friends after this or something.
Right, but it's more than that.
Yeah.
Like you would not have there's 3 cameras in this room.
Right.
And you know what I mean? Like if you just wanted to talk to me, you could have come to a convention.
Sure.
I did. And come up to the table. Like it's, it's more than just I just wanted to meet you and talk to you. Like you wouldn't have been able to pull all of this together.
Maybe what I'm here for is we have been strangely connected through my weird fixation on this movie. While I think it's totally understandable why I am fixated on this movie, I think it's really rad that, giving a fucking TED Talk about it, watching it 200 times to not kill myself. That, and that's not a thing I'm trying to put on anybody, but that's literally what my life was.
My journey with it was so different from yours. But it had a profound effect on my life.
We really hated each other, and then we got together. And it's just great. I'm so in love.
Kevin wasn't just like a boyfriend. Kevin was a very profound relationship in my life.
How often do you sit with exes and go back down memory lane about a film that you made together? It wasn't fun getting shit constantly about having been with other men, having gone to Bali. There were fights and they hurt, you know, it was painful. It was really, really painful. As much as I loved Kevin, it's really awful to be in a relationship with someone who like never believes that you love them.
Why me? You know, why now?
Well, you're constantly having to be like, but I wouldn't be with you if I didn't love you.
Who's my favorite director?
Yeah.
You can't ask me that.
No.
Why not?
Because we'll fight all the way home.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta go home with this guy.
Oh, no.
It wasn't this cathartic thing that I think it was for Kevin. It's not like, you know, like we did that movie and everything was resolved. Which so Kevin talks kind of like he wrote the movie and figured it all out.
While we were making Chasing Amy for the first time, I actually had this moment where, I was like, my God, I think I've grown. I was doing a lot of emotional directing.
I'm glad that he made a movie like acknowledging that it's fucked up, but it doesn't change the fact that like he made me feel bad for having lived the life I had lived and been who I had been.
Right.
Because he was insecure. I still carried what he had put on me.
Right.
You're with another man? How dare you?
What the fuck's wrong with you? How could you do all those things?
Easily!
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Wow. That's like an enduring kind of like fucked up thing.
Yeah, and now there's this like really neat little movie where everything is like kind of tied up in a bow because he gives a speech in a diner.
But what I did not get, she didn't care. She wasn't looking for that guy anymore. She was looking for me, for the Bob.
And it's like everything wasn't okay. We had still lived through that.
By the time I figured this all out, it's too late.
I love the movie. I'm glad I made it, but it's like I had to take all of that and put it back on Kevin because it's not mine to carry.
It's a lot to deal with. Wow. Sorry, I'm just
No,
processing
no,
all this.
no.
Wow.
I love that this is like unlike any Chasing Amy interview I've ever done.
See?
And I might regret it. I don't know, but
I hope not.
I don't love looking back on that time. It brings up like all of those feelings of like that not just boyfriends, but like casting directors and producers of just like, you're just a piece of meat, you're a whore.
I know that he gets asked since we date, like, what do I look like naked? And things like that. What's it like sleeping with her?
That was when Harvey was around, who treated me like shit. And I was like a young actress in Hollywood going through all those stories that you've heard.
Me like you.
Hi.
Sundance for me was like, oh, Harvey's like, doesn't want to fuck me, so, you know, and there was that energy there. I mean, we all knew who Harvey was. You'd be in a room with him and you could feel it. Rose was getting raped, you know? There was another side to the like, we made a movie that went to Sundance and it did really well, and there's a dark side too. I don't wish that, like, God, I wish we were back doing Chasing Amy. Like, that was not like the best time in life for me.
So how do you feel about being nominated tonight?
It's wonderful. I mean, on TV, it's I think that's more my audience with a film like Chasing Amy. So it's an honor, it really is.
It's that AD who's like, come sit in my lap. Come sit in my lap, come on, it's just fun.
Did I make you uncomfortable? I'm
No,
sorry.
You know how to make a boy feel horny.
And you have to do it because you can't be the actress that's like, fuck you.
Right.
I'm not gonna sit in your lap. Then you're difficult, no one wants to work with you. I went back through my IMDb. They're just like, oh, right, on this movie, oh, and on that movie, and on that movie, the actor would come in and show us his dick. I hated Harvey. I hated being around him. And I hated how Kevin had to kiss his ass. And it's like, it's hard to go in as an actress and like, knowing that like Harvey doesn't want you to play the role. And then for him to never call and just be like, God, I've seen Dailies, Joey, and you're doing a great job. Like, he's just a fucking asshole. Like, that's what I was doing in my 20s. I was trying to like, be taken seriously as an actress, and then I was dating this guy who made me feel bad about myself.
Tonight's nominees for Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy are Joey Loring Adams, Chasing Amy;
You see why when you're like, oh my God, Chasing Amy and this great, and like, again, yes, the movie is great and it's amazing, but it's like, I have my own story with like what was going on in my life when I at that age and what surrounds that. And it's those guys having to go to dinner with old men and being promised roles and not getting them. And for Kevin, it's a funny fucking story. And not to say that Kevin writing that movie didn't mean a lot to me, you know, that he could see at least like what he was doing was wrong. But it doesn't change the 2 years that like I lived it.
I'm really grateful still that you were in this movie, and you know,
I am too. I mean, I'm incredibly grateful.
Yeah.
And I'm, you know, I am so happy that it saved your life. From the pain and the fucked upness and everything, that something this beautiful came from it is incredible. It could have just been pain and fucked upness and, you know, nothing ever happened. But that Kevin was able to make something beautiful from it. Like that's what's incredible. Not me, you know.
I went back to Kansas after the Joey interview. I needed a bit of a break from making this movie.
Okay, well. Is that how you cut hair? Yeah.
My grandma got sick with cancer. I wanted to spend time with her. And I'd also just come out as trans, and I really wanted to transition privately with my family's support.
I've never had a partner cut my hair before.
You've never had a partner before.
I dated people before you.
And I really needed perspective. Was I naive to go into that interview the way I did?
Do you want that like completely above your ear, or?
Hey Mom, can you help her?
Just, it's about what you want.
I don't know
how. This is finally your opportunity.
I don't know how to answer that question.
I just need a minute to collect myself and to not live in Chasing Amy world.
Oh, organized socks.
Yeah, I was gonna say that because that's about where your area of expertise begins and ends.
Wow. Thank you for doing the laundry.
You're welcome.
I kind of lost steam, lost a sense of purpose. Where I was at with the documentary, what I wanted to do, who I want to be.
Hey, happy birthday. Oh.
Hello.
You look cute.
Thanks.
Do you like my camera?
I do.
It's very high tech.
I know. Look at that.
It's the future. Oh, you can see my mustache.
Of course you can.
It's barely there, but you can see it.
After a while, I reached out to Kevin and I was just like, hey man, can we just like catch up?
I gotta say, before when we first snapped on to Zoom and I had my windows blocked because I was closing other windows, so I didn't see you.
Yeah.
And it threw me because I was like, oh, Sav is having me up with some tech, because it did not sound like your voice.
That's 6 months on testosterone, my dude. So I've got like a more noticeable mustache, and then I've got like a lot of hair under here, but you can't really see it because I have that zoom filter on that makes you look better.
I didn't know about that filter.
In the next decade, I'll have the beautiful beard that I've always like wanted and seen myself having. I'm excited. Like, I know who I am. You know, it's been a long process to like accept myself, and it was really fucking scary. And you know, I'm grateful for your support. It was just nice to have an outside person who like I finally told to just say like, hey man, you're okay. Like, you're gonna be fine if you do this.
To me, it was like, it's so weird because almost from the beginning of our relationship, it was like a matter of fact.
Well, I wanted you to know me.
It's also a fascinating part of the story. Like,
yeah,
you know, first off, I find you by the video, the TED Talk, and I was like, oh my God, like here's somebody saying nice things about Chasing Amy in 2020. Like that's rare. But then when we meet, it's like this story is going on. It's still developing, and it's the story of your life. And in an odd way, our life stories have now intersected.
I feel lucky that you've given me so much of your time and your friendship and mentorship, whatever the fuck this is. Like, I'm just grateful for that.
Like, are you kidding me? As a storyteller, to have somebody talk about the deep impact that something you created made on their life and stuff. It was just confirmation that you don't get very often in life. It was the gift of self back.
First time we ever talked, you were like, you can never bother me. And you explicitly said that to me. And while I sometimes feel like I am bothering you just by virtue of I know that you're busy, I do appreciate everything that you've given me too. You've been there for me before you were there for me. It's not just chasing Amy at this point. I gained a friend.
It's me paying you back. It's not vice versa. Don't you get it? Like fucking that, what you did, how do I pay that fucking back? You gave me my movie back.
Are you eating a sandwich?
Yes, thank you for making the sandwich, Mom.
Provided by your mother.
Yeah, that's a person. I don't know what I learned from this whole thing. I'm a fundamentally different person now. Like, I feel guilty about the TED Talk sometimes because I feel like you think it's like exhibit A of like what you call bad parenting. And I'm like, you're the hero in that fucking story. Like, you are. I knew that if I told you every fucked up thing that people did, I would have to acknowledge that those things were happening. I think it was like an internalized way of like, I don't want my mom to know I'm such a loser. Like, that wasn't like my thought process at the time. What?
Oh, you're breaking my fucking heart, kid.
I mean, but like, the fact that you let me watch cool movies was like the bit of solace I had when I was fundamentally unable to communicate any of these things to anybody.
That's good. The hardest thing about being a parent is watching your child hurt and not being able to fix it. I just made so many choices that were absolutely the wrong choice. Not just for you, but for me, you know, for us. But I mean, I think you are absolutely the hero of the story.
I know it's hard on you sometimes, kid, but you're the one.
And a lot of things could have been better for you, you know, that I just didn't really know about.
I didn't know about it either. I couldn't even Google trans stuff because I was afraid it would make it real. I couldn't tell you, I couldn't tell Riley. I was worried Riley would leave me. She likes very feminine girls. I was never a girl. Ready?
No.
Let's talk about the fact that you still call yourself a lesbian, despite being married to a man. Very Alyssa of you. Can you talk about the weight of other people's opinions on how you identify yourself?
It was a journey because, you know, it all came to happen when I was starting to live my life, you know, more freely as like an out and proud queer person. So I did start feeling a little bit conflicted, but I think that's why chasing Amy was so important to me, because it made me realize how labels were really not important. And I remember like the impact that Ellison monologue had on me, and I was like, she knows.
I feel justified lying in your arms. Because I got here on my own terms.
As empowering as it is to have a label for yourself,
And I have no question there was someplace I didn't look.
I don't have to explain myself to anybody. So in the end, all that matters to me is you, because this is my husband and this is the love of my life.
Did you ever consider leaving me when I came out as trans?
No, because we had been together for so long and we had been friends for even longer. Life without you was not an option. What happened to me in that moment was that I just kind of started freaking out about like, what am I going to tell people? Because I was just going around yelling, I'm a lesbian, now I'm with a man. And then I was like, well, you know what? This is nobody's business but mine. I love you and I'm attracted to you. Just be in love and just honestly just celebrate the fact that Sav can finally be happy and live his truth.
Good answer.
Yeah.
I think it's your turn to ask me some questions.
So, the Joey interview.
Yeah, the Joey interview.
What were you thinking?
The interview with Joey was definitely a turning point. I learned a lot that day. I'm sure it's much worse for Joey having Chasing Amy be her most well-known movie when she has all of these negative feelings associated with it than it was for me to sit there and have to grow up real fast and to realign my expectations. I don't need Chasing Amy the way that I used to, and I shouldn't. It was a life raft when I needed it, and now I have new dreams.
This is I Love You, Margot Robbie, written by Sav Rodgers and Taylor Gates.
Are you actually the real Margot Robbie?
If I'm not, I paid way too much for the sign.
Got married.
You have given me so much courage to be myself and to live my life in a way that makes me happy.
I have been madly in love with you since I was 17 years old.
Moved multiple times.
Folks, excuse me.
Moved to Vegas, moved out of your parents' basement. How are you liking that?
I like living with you great. You're my favorite roommate I've ever had. I've been making a documentary that forces me to be reflexive on the nature of my identity and be in a pretty vulnerable state several hours out of the day. It's not the movie I set out to make, but it's the movie we have.
What would you say you are the most proud of?
I'm proud that I followed through. This was really hard, all of it. Boy from Kansas with few connections gets the chance to tell a story, connect with the guy that made him want to become a filmmaker. And in the process of trying to tell this very specific story, all of his dreams come true.
I mean, I've gotten everything I think I've wanted out of this.
Yeah,
Have
I
I
think you got
thoroughly
some new shit.
have I thoroughly asked you enough questions that are not your typical Chasing Amy fanfare?
Yeah.
Is that a good thing?
It's a great thing. Like, I think that, like, I just didn't have another bullshit Chasing Amy interview.
Thank God.
You know?
Yeah.
And he gets to leave this part of his life where it is. I just feel lucky. I feel lucky to have you. I mean, I don't know where I'd be without you. This one time you said, you know, you're making a love letter to Kevin Smith or whatever, but like, you're the only person I want to write a love letter to. If this movie doesn't say it, let me just say it explicitly, like, you are everything to me. I don't need Chasing Amy anymore because I have something real to attach myself to, and that's you. I will forever be better off because of what you've been to me. And I don't mean to paraphrase Holden there, so thank you. After you.
to my fall.